It's now been 50 years since the Fall of Saigon, the capital of South Vietnam, captured by the North Vietnamese.
Now, during that time, there were thousands of Vietnamese refugees. And tonight, the Gerald R. Ford Presidential Museum is marking this anniversary. It's hosting an event debuting a new documentary. As News Channel 3's Tyler Brumman found out, even half a century later, there are new friendships being formed from this pivotal moment in history.
Dad, he loved being a public servant.
Steve Ford has fond memories of his father's time in the White House. But when he was just 18 years old, a defining moment of his dad's presidency, playing out all the way in Southeast Asia.
I was aware, it was on my radar at the end of the Vietnam War.
In 1975, North Vietnamese troops captured the capital of South Vietnam. The war, leaving our nation's 38th president wanting to help.
There were thousands of orphans, children that were being left behind in Vietnam that had been fathered by U.S. servicemen.
Operation Babylift gave new hope to thousands of families. Around 3,000 children were evacuated.
Dad had a great heart, a great empathy for those kids, and wanted to make sure they got out of Vietnam safely.
Fast forward to 2025. Artifacts from back then filled the Gerald R. Ford Presidential Museum. Pictures on the walls and blankets that were used to keep small refugee children warm. They're part of an exhibit called Ford at 50. But for the former president's son, another twist 50 years later he didn't see coming.
We both realized the grace of God was on her life and my dad's life.
I drove up and he's like, park over there, and I got out and we gave each other a hug, and it was like my long lost brother.
Twee Williams was rescued during Operation Babylift. Recently, she and Ford worked together on a documentary.
It's just amazing to have someone who is instantly in your court and like supports you and is like encouraging you and telling people about you. he texts a lot and says, I told so-and-so about you, and it's like, really?
Twee and Steve had a lot of catching up to do. After all, we're talking about 50 years. Twee says the 5 decades since she was rescued has been quite the journey.
Once I started learning English, I pretty much dropped everything about the Vietnamese side of myself.
Then in 2001, for the first time in her life, she was able to meet her mom.
And since then, I've embraced that side of myself, which I had never done before.
It's her story Twee has shared with so many, now sharing it with everyone, making a difference, one her new friend believes his dad would be proud of. What do you think he would say?
He would say a job well done, that their lives are now rippling out and touching other people and healing other people. I'm so glad my dad had the moral integrity and the compass.
Twee tells me she's also found ways to give back throughout her life. She's done refugee work, and she's also worked with the Army, among many other things. By the way, you can check out the Ford at 50 exhibit right now at the Presidential Museum. We're told it'll stay open until August 19th. In studio, Tyler Brumman, News Channel 3.